Hey, welcome to Area 51 Raceway. So we're going to start off with part 2 here with mounting of the body. So we're using the original mounts that come with the H&R chassis. And as you can see, there's Velcro mounts that you put on these pads right here. And you can see what I've done was I've used the hardware and mounted the pads on here, these angle brackets, to mount the pads onto the angle brackets so you could put the body on. And what this is there's a slotted side here, and what you use is you put the slotted side onto the chassis, and then there's just regular whole circle holes here that those pads go into. And what you do when you get this, you want to be able to make sure that you have them both equally apart, so this way they reach the body. So in this case I've measured what, half a centimeter I think this is, so I basically done it this way to get my measurement so that I know they're even. I did this prior to putting the tape on, and then when I got it tightened down, I just basically put this here to make sure that the body will touch the angle brackets here, and once you get the mounts it'll push out a little too, but that's what you want to do. And when you've done that, what you're going to do is you get these plastic pads that go in the hole, and then you tape them on to hold them in. And then you get yourself some popsicle sticks like that, and then you're gonna set the body on here, which I've already marked, and how would you say, get it in position. And get this together here. So you have your popsicle sticks just like that. That's all you're doing, is you're just making sure that the body is on there just like that. And then you would get your marking pen, as you see in there, as Harry's demonstrated this already. You get your marking pen, either the fine tip or a big fat tip, and then you just mark in here like this, and you mark around those pads, which those are where you're going to mount it at. Now this ain't, as I said before, this ain't a perfect, like, how would you say, a real great, super fit, but it works because it's a compression fit. Once you get those on there, you just pinch it on. So with that being said, that's pretty much how you do it. So popsicle sticks, and then just your setup board, and then just mounting these on there and marking them like that. As you can see how I marked them, two different spots. I used the fine one, but then I reposition it, and now I'm going with the big fat black one, obviously the marker, so I know where to put my body, or my body mounts, onto the body. And I would do this before painting it, because if you paint this, you may have to clean it off so that the Velcro will stick. And what we'll do is we'll go on to mounting these onto the body. Okay, now so you see here I have these on here, and these stick out a little, so I may need to push this back in a little, or screw this to push these brackets in if it's a little bit too tight, and you could do that as you adjust it. So that's the beauty of it. So you see where I marked everything. What I'm going to do is get my hook and pole, they call this, and put the, how would you say, this end right here. I don't know if this one's the pole or the hook. I think this one's called the hook because it's like the felt type. And then we're going to put it right here, right where we marked it, right? Just like that. And we're going to get our other one. Here we go. Peel the backing off. It's an adhesive backing, and put it right there. That's my big mark area there. Then I'm going to get the hook. I guess this is called the hook. I'm not sure, but what I'm going to do is peel the backing off this. Then I'm going to put it on the disc, and this is pretty sticky. Try and get it on there without getting your fingers mostly on it. There we go, there's that. And then we're going to place it there like that, as you can see. We're going to get our last one and pull this off. If I could get it off the adhesive. Ooh, a little bit tough here. It's being stubborn. Here we go. Finally, and we'll put it right there, and we're going to put it right on there, and there we go. Now here's our chassis. What we're going to do is we're going to push it on there. See how they're on the tabs there? You're going to pull the body back and hook it, and this may be a little bit too much because you can see how it's stretching it. So if that's the case, that's something, you know, at least you see on camera, then we could adjust these in because I have them adjusted too far. So what I'll do is unscrew these and I'll adjust them in. Why don't we go in all the way, because that's pretty thick. So I'm going to go right about there. As you can see, it looks even. You could eyeball it or measure it, but it looks pretty even right there. We're going to go to the other side because I went a little bit too wide. I didn't compensate for the discs and everything, which I should have. And we'll do that. Just make sure this looks even. That does. Tighten that up. And later on, when you get these locked down, you could put some super glue on there to keep them from moving. Now we're going to get the body. Simply like that. And then pull this back, line the pins. There we go. We have the body on. Not too hard to do. Of course, we'll have to true our tires, obviously, because it's pretty close up there, but that's pretty much the body mounted. And then we could adjust if we need to as well. And like I said, it's not, you know, the best fit, but it works. And again, you could also move those felt pieces as well if you need to. So if you want to move them around, say we want to lift the back up a little bit, so we could always do this. We could peel these off a little bit because they do come off, and drop it down a little like that. Same with here, just like that, so I can lift the rear up a little, and you could do that way to compensate it. And just like that. There you go. Put the rear up a little bit higher. That's it. And then also we could, again, if this seems a little too loose, you know, we could still, how would you say, loosen these up to widen the to get it closer. See, like that, and like that. Now it's closer and snugger onto the body. See, you could do the same with the other side. So it's just a little bit of manipulation you have to do to this to get it to work in your favor. Again, it's, you know, just a little tweaking here and there. Just like that. So that one moved a little. Hopefully it won't move when I tighten it now. There you go. There you have it. So just a little bit of movement, and there you go. I mean, that sits on there perfectly. And you're ready to go to paint this. And again, all this is a compression fitting. It's not going to go anywhere. You got a little bit of body float, but you know, it's fine. But you see how that looks right there? That's how you mount the body. And it's not really any rocket science. And then what you could do, I mean, if you know, I don't think these will come loose, so I wouldn't really bother trying to epoxy those pads on there. You don't need to. But it's a simple design, and it works. And then we'll just, you know, do a little adjustments here and there. Obviously the tires need to be true, so this will probably, maybe possibly rub the body. But we'll put it on the track and take a look-see and how it runs around and see if we see any rubbing. All right, here we go. So we have our body mount on. Let's give it a whirl around the track. Wow, not bad. A little bit of tippy there, but hey, it held on pretty good. And again, once you get all the other weight on this car, obviously, if you put a full interior, tray interior, the hood, it's obviously just the body without a hood and nothing else. So it's a little bit lighter, but what a smooth runner. I mean, it holds on real well. Very well, how would you say, mannered. It isn't flying off completely off in the corners. And again, these are not trued rear tires, so once you get the tires trued in the rear, it'll make it handle a little bit better. Or how would you say, a lot better, actually. Should hold on the road a little bit more, but it isn't doing too bad the way it is. There you go. That's pretty much it. That's how you mount your body for these. Not very difficult. Again, you could always move these pads around if you need to, if you feel that it's too low or it's scrubbing, or if you need to move the position, say you want to move forward more or back more. But I think I'm going to leave it where I have it right there. That's pretty good. I think it looks fine where it is. And then now I could go ahead and mount my, other stuff to this and get it ready for paint. And this will look pretty good once it's done. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that part there. And now we're going to get to just painting real quick and explain that more and what I'm going to do with painting this. Alright, here we are at the painting part of this. So the paint that I use, just so everybody knows, for primer, I use this Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 fillable filler and sandable primer. This to me is excellent stuff. You could use what you want. I prefer to use this. You don't have to use this. It's just me. But what I've done is I pre-warmed this can up by putting it in hot water for about 30 minutes just to get it nice and warm, because it was sitting on the garage here, and the garage is like 61 degrees. And I shook it up for about 2 minutes real good. And then I've also put my car in the dehydrator, so all my car is nice and warm, the surface of it, so it'll allow the paint to flow nicely on it. Now what I'm going to do is turn on my hood here, and I'm going to give this a couple shots of paint. Now I've also cleaned this body real good with hot, soap and water, let it dry, and then I put it in a dehydrator after I dried it out, and then I wiped it down with alcohol, just if I got any dust on it. But you can use also a tack cloth if you want to use a tack cloth. It's totally up to you, but we're just going to go ahead and paint this right here. Nice light coat right there. This isn't heavy. And then what I'll do is I'll let it dry a little, and then I could hit it again. And all you're doing is just putting a nice layer on this. As you can see, it's covered it pretty decently, but it'll need some more. And then I'll just hit it again and then get it completely primered. And what I'm going to use for this car is basically a white paint, because I'm doing the Junior Jocelyn Holly Farms number 27 Pontiac, and it's basically a white paint job, and the decals will give it all the art that it needs as far as the livery that is for it. So this is a real simple paint job, and I am going to airbrush it, and I'll show you when I do that. So I'm going to continue to just hit this with a little bit of primer. Make sure I get the bottom of it like that. So that's the area where it tends to miss. And on top here, and then missed it again, and just keep doing the process till I'm happy with it. Well, here we are. Now I know I didn't show painting this, and what I did use was just an airbrush, and there's several videos on airbrushing, so I wasn't going to get into that. So basically it's just a opaque white is what I did, and I painted this opaque white. It was a little tough because I had the gray, the gray primer, so it took a little bit. And then what I did, was painted the opaque white. I did the acrylic clear, because Createx paint is water-based, so if you try and put decals on, you may disrupt the paint because it's water-based and break it down. So that's why you shoot acrylic over it clear, and then you place your decals. Then when you have your decals set, you can see right here this reacted because I did it too early. I was too rushed myself, so I didn't let really the acrylic kind of set in, or the decals dry enough, as you should say, because there was water underneath it and it popped it. But that's okay. I mean, it looks like a little battle scar, but no big deal. That's what happens, as you can see, compared to the other side. But I could try and touch it up if I can with some red and black, but I don't know, we'll see. But it doesn't, you know, it isn't really, it is what it is, as you put it, how I did it. But after I put the decals on, then I did another coat of acrylic. And then after that, I put a clear, which is a solvent-based clear, to give the body durability and some shine. But this is the car right here. As you can see, the interior. I will get into doing tray interiors. This is not a very hard interior to do. I will explain how to do that on the next video. But now that this car is basically together, what I'm going to do is run this on the track, because I have this weight on this. I've just, you know, tuned this by adding weight to not making it stippy, so it stays on the track better. So we'll give it a whirl around the oval, and you'll see how it handles.
We've been waiting for a long time. Yes, we've been waiting for a long, long time. We've been waiting for a long time. But we ain't gonna wait no more. We're getting ready to rock and roll. We're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Well, there's a reason everybody should be shaking in the house tonight. And you should grab your face